Hello and welcome to this demo video for the voucher code database. So what is a voucher code database? What it is it's an Excel-based spreadsheet which will allow you to keep a database of paper vouchers that you've sent out. So whether these be vouchers that you sell to clients to give to their friends and family, or whether you have these vouchers that you give to people to come and redeem to get part of your services or whatever as a trial, that's totally up to you. But it's when you issue paper vouchers, and what it does is it helps you to keep track of what vouchers are out, what vouchers have been redeemed, what's still outstanding, what's due to come in, what's due to expire, those kind of things. So it assumes that you've got the voucher code in numerical order, in sequential order. So the last voucher code you've used, you can put in here when you're starting the spreadsheet. And then what the spreadsheet will do is it'll start from the next one. So I put in 55, it'll start from 56 next time. Then you can select the duration of the voucher until it expires. You can select how many months or how many days, and then the number. Only enter whole numbers here. So if you want to enter a week, you enter days and 7. If you want to enter a year, months and 12, that kind of thing. You'll see why you put this information in later on when we actually create a voucher entry. Then you've got up to 10 standard vouchers. So this is the value of the voucher. So if you want to give a voucher, say for £10, £20, £30, you can put up to 10 different values in here. Or you can sell a service, but we'll get to that in a minute. These are just for 10 standard monetary value vouchers. Your business name should be locked in there. I've just put in Spreadsheet Solutions for the demo, and you can come here to watch the demo video or on YouTube. If we scroll down, just one thing, if you're looking at the free trial, you'll be able to put your business name in there, but if you purchased it, it'll be black, the header will be black like that, and it will be locked. Right, let's just scroll down. This part is for the actual voucher. So if you want, let's just take a look at the actual voucher beforehand. You've got an introduction here with your logo. This says Spreadsheet Solutions, but it'll be your logo and your company name there. And then it'll say, please cut out the voucher, whatever you want to put in here. And then as you can see, the voucher's got a dotted line around it. And on the voucher is a block with your terms and conditions. So what's in this block here is an introduction. You can put in on the settings page, and what appears in your terms and conditions you can put in on the settings page. So you can't type it in here, but if you go back to your intro and setup, you can type them in there. That's all those two blocks are for. If you want to click enter on that, if you go to that and you click enter, it'll actually pop out of the cell like that, and that's not what you want. You want to drop down a line when you're typing in. So if you double click on there to get your cursor in and you press Alt and enter, you'll drop down a line. You can read the instructions in these blocks to the right there. And if you scroll down further, that's the logo I've inserted, but you can insert any logo you want. How do you do that? Simple. You go to logo insert. You say insert. Now in Excel 2016 or Office 365, you need to click on illustrations and then pictures. Some of the other ones might just be insert pictures, and then you find the picture on your system and enter it. Once you've entered it, it looks like this. You can resize it and drag it and all that kind of thing. So if we take that picture out and we go back to the intro and setup, you can see the logo disappears. There's no logo in there. So your logo is whatever is within the black border. Anything that overlaps the black border or sticks outside will not be shown. So you need to get your logo in the center of that black border. You can use the arrow key just to move it around minute little bits. Alright, so once you've got your logo in there, your setup's done. You've got your setup, you've got your terms and conditions, you put everything else in, and you are ready to go. So what's the next thing to do? We've done the logo insert, is the product database. If you want to create vouchers for products, so you don't want to give someone a £20 voucher or a £30 voucher, you want to give them a voucher for a product or service, then you can list those services here, just the name. You can list the description, that's just for you, that won't be on the voucher, so that's fine, you can put that down just for you so that you know what these different services are, and then a price. And that is all you need to put in. The red headers are where you need to put things, the green ones will automatically calculate. I'll show you what those are in a minute. So you basically can list your products, you can use the arrow at the top here to sort them into alphabetical order or into price order. And once you've got your products available, those products will be available for selection on your voucher database. So when you're creating a voucher, you can say, I want to create a voucher for that product. You'll have a drop-down list, and any products that's on this list will be available. As you add new vouchers into the voucher list, as you create vouchers for certain products, it keeps a running total. So it tells you how many have been issued, and it tells you the value of those vouchers in total. So you can see at a glance which ones of these are more popular, which ones of these are selling more vouchers, and then it might give you an idea as to what to do as far as new services, that kind of thing. Then the last thing, that's really a setup. You've got those two black tabs setting up in your product database. You can set up your products. The actual page to create a voucher is on here, your voucher database. So as you can see, I've already put a few in here. So let's just do another one. So if I go to the last voucher, number 70, I want to create a new voucher. There it says 71. When I click on here, it gives me today's date already. You can override today's date if you want to create it for tomorrow or whatever the case might be. You can do that. Just type in the date and it'll say, are you sure that's not the right date? And you say, yes, that's fine. You click on there and then you go to the expiry date. This by default would have worked out from the front page when your expiry date should be. I put in 6 months and you can see it's given this person 6 months. So you can click that. You can, again, if you want to give one specific person maybe a year, or you only want to give them 3 months, you can override it and just click OK when it gives you a warning message. Now this is the only somewhat slightly tricky part. What kind of voucher do you want to issue? Do you want to issue an option A voucher, which is a product voucher or a service, or do you want to issue option B, which is strict monetary value, so just £30, it doesn't matter what service you use. If you want to enter a service voucher, what you do is you come here and you select from the drop-down list and select which product or service you want to supply, and that was from your list from the other page. So if we say let's do a product 2, it goes yellow to tell you need to put in the amount, and you can just check the amount of £10 because that's what the product's worth. It's looked it up from your product database. Then you don't fill in a value only, because if you fill in a value only, it will go red to tell you that's wrong. You don't want to be doing that. So let's just remove that. If you want to issue a voucher with a value only, then just select the value and don't select the product or the product value. So you either want to fill in these two columns and not that one, or you want to fill in that one column and not these two. Then you move on to the next thing. The redeemed, obviously, you only select that date when they actually redeem the voucher. And at the moment, they haven't redeemed it. And then what you can do, this is optional, but it will appear on the voucher when we create one in a second. I'll show you how to do that. But you can put on who has bought the voucher and who it is in fact for. So if you've got a client buying it for a friend, and you wouldn't type in client and friend, you put the client's name and the friend's name. That's just for two reasons. Number one, if you bought it for a specific friend and then this voucher comes in, the person redeeming it doesn't have the same name, and you say, well, where did you get the voucher? And they don't know the person who's given it to them. It might be an indication that the voucher's been copied. That's the only reason why I've done this. Is well, two reasons. First of all, so that you know that the people coming in to use them are the right people. But the second thing is obviously when you make the voucher, very often you might say, from Richard to Wendy, if you're buying someone a birthday present or something like that, you want it to appear on the voucher. And so you can put in who it's purchased by, who it's purchased for, and a contact number if you wish. You can put either contact number. It's up to you as to what you use. That's really just for your records, and it will appear on the voucher so that if you want to check that someone's got the right number, or if you want to be able to phone someone or whatever the case might be, you can put that there. If you don't use this column, don't use it. The status update here will update automatically, so you can see it says expired or used. If you put in a date when it's been redeemed, it says used. If not, this one I put in a date from a year ago, and so it says that it's expired, and it'll keep a running total of how many entries you've got for each of these different statuses and what the total value is. So you can see our open vouchers. I've got £540 of open vouchers at the moment. That's fairly handy in itself, but also what it does is it produces a report. So if we take a look at the report, we can see at the top here how many of each of those vouchers and the value. If we scroll down, we can see the value of vouchers issued date by date. This is the current month, So it gives you 3 months into the future, so you can see 3 months when vouchers are due to expire. And then you've got obviously all these vouchers in the past, so you can see where you've sold. And so you may be able to see actually there's certain months where you sold quite a few vouchers and other months where people redeemed those vouchers. You can come here and you can have a look at your top 10 products. These are top 10 based on the number of products issued, and you can see also based on the value. The number is the inner circle and the value is the outer circle. So for argument's sake, if we're looking at this graph, we can see there's only one number product, one value issued, so they're pretty much even. Obviously product 2's got 2, but the other one's got 1, but your value for product 1 is so much greater. So this is based on the value of the issued vouchers, and this is based on the number. It's really just so that you can see if there's anything really odd. Like for argument's sake, if you're issuing loads of one invoice but the value might not be high, what is it that you're more concerned about, issuing high value invoices or lower value? If you scroll down here, you can actually have a look at a breakdown of the different values. So you can see here we're not issuing, even though we've issued the same number of each one. Obviously, value wise, the pink one's a lot higher in value than the red ones there, the £100 one and the £10. Obviously, I've got one of each, so these graphs are pretty straightforward. But when you've got a lot of invoices issued, it's quite handy as to what's actually happening. You can also scroll down further and you can see the breakdown per value type. So are you selling more product values? Are you selling more product vouchers or value vouchers? Any duplicates there, those are wrong. I put them on the graph so you can see them pop up in yellow, but you shouldn't have duplicates. That's when you've filled in too much information on the product data, on the voucher database. And then you've also got a breakdown by current status. So currently, how many of my vouchers expired, what's the value in expired product, what's the value in redeemed and open. So have a look at those graphs. They do change automatically. Everything on this page will change automatically as you proceed. So as you fill in stuff on the voucher database, it'll update the report automatically. Now that far on the spreadsheet is as far as you need to go if you're making your own vouchers, because obviously you've got all the information to make your vouchers. If you want to make your own vouchers and you want it automated, like I'm about to show you, get in touch. I'm sure we can accommodate you from a point of view of doing a somewhat bespoke solution for you. So use the spreadsheet, but just change one sheet, which is the voucher template, for a bespoke option. But if you're happy to use the voucher that we've created, you can do so on your voucher template. Now, when you click here, you'll see. Let me just remove that information for now. It says the voucher is supplied by, this says Spreadsheet Solutions because I put that in as a business name, but your company name will appear there and your logo will show here, and that's what you put in on your intro and setup page. So you can say cut out the voucher below. Inside the dotted line is your voucher. You can see it'll have your business name on there, and it's got a few fields that get filled in. Those are your terms and conditions that you filled in on the intro and setup. Your business name will appear here, your logo will appear there, and this is a block for you to sign. So if you do print this out and you cut out the voucher in the dotted line, you can actually sign your signature in here, which just gives them more authentication for the person using it, so that you know that it's a legitimate voucher and hasn't been copied. So all you need to do here to generate this voucher is just select the voucher number you want, and it's in this cell over here. Select the voucher number you want. So if we go back to the voucher database and we see we want to select number 71, and we go to the voucher template and we come here and we select the drop down, and all we have to do is go down to number 71, select 71, and there it is. Open, product, issue date, expiry date. It's got all information here. This is just for you to see this grey bit. But more importantly, if we scroll down, let's just do that over here, you can see it's got in here vouchers for the following service, product 2 at that from so-and-so to so-and-so, expiry date, voucher number 71, your company name, so on and so forth. So that is a standard voucher. If you want to change and print out another voucher, you just come here and select the other voucher number, and that will then put that information into the voucher. When you print this out, it'll only print out the white sheet. It won't print out this grey part. So you can just have this white sheet, cut it out, and there you've got yourself a voucher. As I said, you don't have to use this template. You can use your own, just transfer the information. The main important thing is that you've got this voucher database to track what's outstanding, what's going on, and then that'll obviously produce the report and show you what's happening. So I hope that that explains things. It's not the normal kind of spreadsheet that we do, but I've seen a few people asking about this kind of thing. So I hope that that is helpful to you if you do make paper vouchers. If you need something more bespoke, do get in touch. But if that works for you, then I wish you all the best with that. Thank you and goodbye.